you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Hey, what up, family? What's going on inside from No Picks Podcast?
What's up, y'all? Joe, No Picks Podcast.
It's your man Gio back again.
All right, so today I want us to react to this Candace Owens clip, right? She just did the interview with the Breakfast Club. It is everywhere, so we got to talk about this. You know, this is part of that pop culture kind of situation. This ain't Philly news, but you know, it's big right now. So we're gonna play a couple clips and we're gonna react to the content. All right.
Boy.
The information level is so low for Americans that it's like, oh, COVID's so bad. Like, we're going to give you a check that's like, $300. This basically describes welfareism, right? Like, despite the fact that there's been trillions of dollars since the establishment of welfare, Black Americans are poorer today than we were before it. People don't know this, but during the time of Jim Crow, before welfare was established in the 1950s, Black Americans were actually outpacing white Americans in this country in terms of economic growth. And the reason for that was because our families were together. We had good values. The government only wants to give you the bare minimum. But where's the rest of the money? Where is it going? They sign these bills making you think that this money is going to you. It's not. They are stealing from the American people. And it's you look at your congressman, whoever it is that you guys sent down to DC, and you realize that they're all just puppets. I feel like we're watching a performance, and who can say the most outrageous thing. The Republicans don't want to sign this because they want, slavery and they want you back in change. The Democrats don't want to sign this because they want grandma to die. Whatever it is, you're watching to me, it's a play.
That's why I don't think, that's why I think if you're Black, you shouldn't be beholden to any political party. Democrat or Republican.
Right. I mean, I think that any concept of saying that I am a Republican forever, a Democrat forever is a nonsense. You should always look at the candidates that are running, and any person that is running saying that they want to grow government is your enemy.
Why do you think people give you a lot of backlash for questioning people and having questions? I see all the time with Charlemagne, if we question something that Kamala Harris did, or question something that Joe Biden did, or question somebody that's Democrat. Why do you think our people have so much backlash when you ask so many questions?
Well, because I think that they don't realize that they've been manipulated against their own interests. And a lot of it is, when you start telling the truth, you become a problem to the establishment, right? So if you're the military industrial complex and you want people to just kind of sleepwalk into another war, and I'm sitting here telling you that, Pentagon just can't keep finding the trillions of dollars that they send overseas. They've got this budget and they're sending all this money to Ukraine. And then they say, oh, we don't know where all the money went. It's being laundered and it's being sent back to a very small group of powerful people. And so when you have someone like me who's cutting through all of the emotional arguments, you have to turn that person into persona non grata, right? And what better way to do it than to have their own community attacking them and saying that they're, pro-white or anti-Black. I mean, it's a nonsense things that they say about me.
All right. So
She fucking cooking.
she cooking.
She just yo. Oh my god.
She cooking. So I mean, listen, there's a lot we could talk about in this one clip alone. But I guess I'll ask you guys this question, right? I'll ask you, G to guess. What do you think about what she said about the welfare system?
Oh, I've always agreed with Candace Owens in that. I'm literally a Republican for that reason. So seriously, for the simple fact of just what the Democratic Party has how they have handicapped the Black community in terms of just being reliant on big government funding that we don't have no control over. It's just I'm a feed you. We're modern day slaves. They keep us fed and they keep us I'm gonna give you food and shelter so you can continue to be a workforce. The bare minimum to keep you alive so that you can continue to grow our profits.
Right.
So fuck that shit. So anything with that, I agree 100%.
That's wild. That's wild. What you think, Joe?
Well, I agree with you, and the thing is, I came to this point later on in life, though, because growing up, I was much more liberal, much more progressive,
right,
more out left. But now I'm at the point where I'm in a different tax bracket, and I'm seeing them taxes coming out of my check, and I'm seeing people been on welfare for 15, 20 years, and I'm like, bro, this is supposed to be for 2 or 3 years.
Temporary, yeah.
Even 3 years seems too long. Because what you mean you can't find a job and get yourself back together in like 2 years? Like it's gonna take you more than 3 years to like find a job and get into a routine and keep that. So for me, like I think the welfare system did hurt lots of communities, right? But since we're talking about black and brown folk, like it really did hurt the black community as well. Like it made us lazy, it made us complacent, it made us kind of stagnant economically because we were kind of content with the bare minimum. It incentivized, some of our women pushing out fathers out of the household for public housing. You know what I mean? Like public housing was a thing that they were like, you can't have a man here, but you can have the woman and the kids. So keep the men out. So it incentivized keeping men out of the. It broke apart the nuclear family in ways as well. Because some women opted into that. And I think it's just a waste. I think it's not regulated heavily enough. I don't think there's too many I don't know. It needs more regulation. You got to hold people accountable so they're not on this indefinitely. It's supposed to be a safety net. It's not supposed to be like a freaking life support until you die. Like, I don't know. It's supposed to be a safety net, and I do believe that as a society we should have a safety net because some people really do need it. But we're talking about the people that we clearly know exploit it. Yeah. Exploit it. So that's my initial thought on welfare. I actually agree with Candace. I do, but the only point I want to argue with her about is when she was just like, during slavery, during did she say, Jim Crow or something like that? She was like, we were the most
Jim Crow, yeah,
we were outpacing economically. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, but let's add some context to that because after the Reconstruction period, we basically had all these slaves who were basically skilled labor. And they were out there because they had been doing all of the work for so long that they had all these tools, all these skills. So they were out there getting the jobs. They were out there working on other fields. They were out there being mechanics. They were out there doing railroads because they were doing all the work for people. So then that's when Jim Crow came in because Jim Crow was basically the backlash to that because then the white people was like, hold on. We've been making them do the work for us, so now we can't get these jobs because they have the skills. They're taking all of these highly skilled jobs because they've been doing the work for so long. So then that's when Jim Crow came in because we're like, no, now we got to set them back, right? And then the biggest point I wanted to make is that then we have the Tulsa bombing. We literally had something called the Black Wall Street, where black people came together. We had black businesses, black banks, black schools. We had our own little community. It was thriving. They called it the Black Wall Street. And then once again, some white people, not all, but during that time, white people got envious of that. And what did they do? They went in there. They bombed them with planes. They burned the entire city. They went in there with guns and shot people down. They completely destroyed the Black Wall Street. So this idea that, anytime black people wanted to start their own independent communities and to be autonomous and to have self-determination, when we did that, white people just shot it down and burned our cities, bro. So to Candace, I would say, I hear what you're saying, but add some historical context. Because every time black people have tried to do for ourselves, there's been constant resistance to that. They don't want black people to be self-determining. They don't want us to be autonomous because we've tried and they've shot it down. They've killed us. They've burned us. So to that point, I'll say that and then I'll stop speaking for now. But that's the point where I'm like, all right, Candace, I like that, but I need you to add a little more of that historical context because it's important to know that. It's important to know why Jim Crow came after the Reconstruction period. It's important to know why we were amassing and economically outpacing other races because we had these skills. We had value that people wanted. That people wanted to hire us. We had all these things that the white people didn't have because we were doing their work for them, right? So I'll stop there. But that was my point of contention with the welfare. But other than that, Shorty's on point. I think it's hurting our communities, and it's doing it now. It's done it before, and I don't know. I don't want to completely abolish it. Yeah. But something has to change. Something.
If I had to choose between abolishing it and keeping it the way it is, I would choose abolish it because like she mentioned, what welfare does is it gives us the bare minimum so that we need you guys next month and then the next month and then the next month and then the next month. So it's like it's a permanent crutch, and I can say that because I mean, G, you can attest to this too, bro. I got generations of people that have been in the same Section 8 house for like 30 years, bro. Like the people I grew up with, my cousins, their mom had a Section 8 house, and they inherited it. Now they're my age now, and their kids have a Section 8 house, and they've been living in the same house, which I thought was theirs since I was like 8 years old. But it's just like they've been living in that house for like 30 plus years.
No equity, no nothing, bro. No asset acquired, no legacy, no nothing.
And it's very strange to me how we're so content with that. But the government is to blame. Like giving out free money that's the easiest way to de-incentivize people. like just like communism. We talk like if you say, hey, out the gate, whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, a trash man, a McDonald's cashier, you know, why the fuck would I ever try to be a doctor or a lawyer? That's harder to do. I would just do the bare minimum. Bro, you kidding me? If you telling me everybody gonna make the same amount of money, there are some people who gonna be like, hey, you know what? Let me go and work in a volcano.
100%.
Absolutely not.
So
absolutely not.
I'm not arguing for communism. I'm just saying that the argument
it failed for a reason. Because they were still a rich group of motherfuckers. They were only in the government only. So it failed for a reason. So yeah, you and the people you know were all broke, but the people controlling the money were all rich.
But like all the government, like when you talk about like it failed, like all like
it failed.
All governments are like failing, like hypothetically.
Oh, so fuck it. Might as well just follow a failing.
Well, no. It's just because you can't diagnose like why, like you can't just be like, oh, it's failing because it's that. Like there's deeper reasons, right? Like you just talked about, like most of the money was at top, so I'm pretty sure it was corruption.
But
it's
that's
probably
how it
way
goes.
more. It's way more easier to be corrupt in communism than it is in like any other.
Work. Yeah. People are disincentivized. It doesn't. Go ahead.
Well, so what did I want to say about the fucking like the black people? So would I abolish it completely? No, because the reality of it is there are people who benefit from the system who need it, bro. I've been a motherfucker who like there are people who sadly make less than $30,000 collectively in a household.
No, that wasn't my point. My point is, if I had to choose one, keep it the way it is or take it away, I would choose take it away. It was a choice.
But that's like I know. But if you chose to take it away, those people are fucking starving now.
Yeah, what are you offering instead? And that's I was hearing, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. So let's say we get rid of it, right? So if we so hypothetically, I'm on welfare. I've been using it for however long. Now they say, okay, it's gone. Okay, so when I go out my door, are there jobs that I can apply for that are going to pay me a decent living wage? Do I have jobs that are going to give me career movement, like mobility, where I'm going to climb up the social ladder? Are there enough jobs to do that? Is inflation still going to be dumb high and everything is way more expensive and all my money that I'm earning is worth less because of inflation? Like, if you want to take that away, if you want to take away the safety net, you got to make sure that the environment that I'm in is thriving and that it's conducive to like growth and social mobility, because otherwise what am I going to do? I'm going to go rob somebody. By you taking out that safety net sometimes it's the Band-Aid.
Niggas getting robbed anyway, so I guess it don't matter.
No, but I'm saying,
gonna get robbed no matter what.
We can criticize communism, and that's fine. I understand there is aspects of socialism that I think we absolutely need. Welfare right now is a form of socialism that we have right now.
Welfare is not socialism, bro. That shit, no, I'm sorry.
It's taking money from some people, from people who work and pay taxes, and spreading it out to people who don't have.
But that's like it's just common sense, bro. It's
ain't common for me. I don't want you taking my fucking money. What do you mean? No, I don't. Listen, all right, but let's not get too far off the point. Let's get too far off the point.
I'm about to say, because we better argue about capitalism, nigga.
Right.
We get this shit be going all night.
You can't take shots at communism and then not take shots at capitalism, because capitalism has all its flaws as well, and we're in the position that we're in now because of.
It's the better of two evils. Because at least in capitalism, it's like, okay, cool. At least the group of people who have all the money are visible. They're not moving behind the scenes taking your shit. In communism, it's just like, okay, it's Vladimir Putin and like 6 other niggas taking all your fucking money while you are a doctor and you're doing heart surgery and you're making $30,000 a year. That's crazy.
You know what the lesser of two evils argument like completely erodes the power of creativity to come up with a new solution.
What's a better system? What's a better system?
A better is fucking control capitalism. Like, hey, you can make a certain amount. We're just going to make sure we got enough to cover fucking. You're still be a billionaire.
We're talking about
You're still be a billionaire. But like welfare, so even like welfare, so that's the argument with welfare, like keeping some of that. A lot of people like rely on welfare for like childcare. You talking about like CHIP, you talking about CCIS. There are programs that are a part of the welfare umbrella that working class, hardworking people benefit from. That's why you can't just abolish it, because you're not just fucking over the quote unquote the undesirable lazy motherfuckers in America that are of all race, colors, and creeds. No, you're gonna fuck over millions of hard-working Americans.
You gotta crack a few eggs, bro. You gotta crack a few eggs.
But the thing is,
no, like that's most of your your infrastructure.
No, they're not the infrastructure because they're home chilling eating Cheetos.
No, see, that's the minority. That's what they'll lead. That's what they'll like. That's what the rhetoric of propaganda leads you to believe about like people that's on welfare is like, oh, everybody that's on welfare. No, majority of people that are on welfare that receive like government benefits are working class. They got jobs. They got full-time fucking jobs.
True too, bro.
I don't know. Yep.
They're literally pilots who maybe make 35, 40. Like pilots are paid horribly, and they're on.
Bro, there's some motherfuckers like you would never like. They children get chipped. There's some sort of benefit. So the thing when we talk about go back to like how that attaches to capitalism. Control capitalism says, hey,
let's keep it to welfare. Let's keep it because she didn't even mention any of those systems.
Good. You're right.
It's also so hard. I feel like it's also disingenuous to have a conversation about abolishing welfare when we're not keeping that same energy for the hundreds of billions of dollars that are going to Ukraine or to Israel. You know what I mean? Like we're talking.
But she mentioned that. She mentioned it was wrong.
So she mentioned it, but that's what I'm saying. It's hard to have this welfare conversation when in the same conversation, our government is literally giving hundreds of billions of dollars to people to fight some war in another side of the country, but we're talking about taking off the scraps for people who ain't got shit in this country. It's just so hard to have that conversation because it's like, look what.
Because you acting like we ain't got it. Mind your fucking business.
The point she was making. The point she was making though that it's bad for you as a person because you depend on it. You're like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe I don't have to pick up this extra shift. Maybe I don't have to. What happened?
Put a time limit on it. Say you. I mean,
there's going to be some excuse as to why. Like whatever. The bottom line is people aren't ever going to want their welfare touched. That's just the bottom. Like whatever you say, hey, these are the rules you put on people. Oh, why are you doing that? You remember one state was like, oh, okay, well you got to have you got to take urine test to make sure that you're not, doing drugs and stuff like that if you want to keep getting these benefits. And everybody's like, oh, why are you urine testing us? Oh, so what?
Listen, hold on, Tyrese. Do you hear the logic that you're saying, bro? You're going to drug test somebody to get the scraps where the billions of dollars that that are given to fucking corporations to build them out. Them motherfuckers are snorting coke out of prostitutes' asses right now.
Okay,
and you wouldn't even judge them as drug addicts. Like you wouldn't even look at them weird for doing that. But you'll criminalize. You tell somebody that they can't get the scraps.
You're looking at it wrong, bro. You're looking at it wrong.
I'm looking at it.
My point is,
trying to keep the same energy to the people who are affluent and out there making the billions of. We got to keep the same energy for the rich people too.
But you say I know
the rich people don't need government money. The rich people are chilling.
They do. They get more government money than poor people.
But they also don't pay taxes, bro.
They wouldn't be rich people.
It's already a system put in place, and they're gaming the system. My point is, with the people at the bottom, if you live with the mindset of, hey, okay, cool, I'm just gonna keep getting this Section 8 house and keep getting these food stamps, you'll never rise above that shit. And y'all just 100%. Keep trying to make excuses as to it's okay for them to do it because the billionaires get bailed out. No. I want our people to rise as a people. I don't want it to be like, well, fuck it. I'm going to just stay down here and keep getting a little bit of money because this billionaire getting some money too. I don't give a shit about the billionaire. I'm talking about us.
Life happens. Bro, what if my plant shuts down? What if I get into an accident and I can't work my job so they fire me? What if my wife gets cancer so I have to stay at home and I run out of my FMLA and now I'm not getting paid for the time that I'm off and then I lose my job because I've been out of my job for so long? Like, life happens. And when life happens, if society does not have a safety net at all, if you completely abolish that, then we're basically at the mercy of philanthropist billionaires. And I think that's bullshit. To depend on their mercy and their philanthropy.
If that's the idea, then let's keep welfare just like it is. It's been working out for us the last 40 years.
I'm just saying, you can't just abolish. I'm with changing it. I'm with Ty. You're changing the arguments. We're not saying we'll keep it. That's how
niggas do though. And she said that that's how she said she made that argument about how people respond to her as a pundit, right? Of making these statements of you oversensitize the thing. Me and Joe, somebody like me and Joe, educated, men will say, yo, we need to change fucking welfare. All right, Ty, no, anything you want to do to welfare would be, difficult. And then the back and forth would consist, but the reality of it is welfare needs to be changed. There's no doubt. Like the whole, it's like mandatory minimums, right? This isn't for the common person, everybody knows that we should have this. It's just we don't. So welfare needs to be changed. Everybody that has any type of idea of how fucking governmental system works knows welfare need to be changed. It's just that we get stuck in the whole left, right, or you over here, you say this, you say that. And that's like that's the part that she was just saying that like really connected with me, because it's like, bro, when you telling the truth about the government is not out in your best interest. It's not. So I'm not for big government. But the reality of it is that if we had like no government, right? Those billionaires aren't billionaires. Like if people just say, yo, like I'm not going to work, I'm gonna fucking go. Like I'm gonna take it, or I'm gonna go for them. If there are like you don't like form like just like
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? We got a lot of migrants here, so it'd be a lot of people in the woods in a fucking tent talking about some tent life. So go ahead. I mean, listen, there's a whole workforce here ready to replace niggas. So knock yourself out. If you want to be one of them dickheads eating squirrels out the street, then I mean, go ahead. If you think that's the solution, because Elon Musk ain't gonna not be a billionaire. He gonna find a workforce.
No,
they gotta import the motherfuckers in from China. They gonna bring them over here. So you could be the dumbass that's like, oh, okay, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna not go to work. And the
most of the billionaires are related to like consumers, like consumer stuff. It's not like their money is in fucking like labor. Now to your point though. Are the black people's all fucking groups, all racial groups, biggest vehicle for financial gain is labor. And that, like when Joe mentioned it, when we came out of slavery, we had a control of the labor force in America, like actual labor, skilled labor, shit that like require like welding, concrete masonry, like these skills. All the money that's going around outside of like if it's not industrial military money, it's infrastructure money.
Right.
And that's where we fucking up and we missing out on money. Right. We so worried about like getting into the consumer fields, which are fast. They come and go. There aren't like too many consistent. Like when you look at the SP500, there aren't too many consumer brands. Like there's the conglomerates like Nike, shit like that, but Apple, but like the rest of those fucking companies make up either like infrastructure shit that's going to like last is about building supplies, rubber, glass, like shit that's tangible that I don't give a fuck where you at in America, you're going to be building something. And that's where like our disadvantage is that our focus is more on other shit. And that's why I would say I would change the programming of don't give me welfare, give me a fuck. Like it's mandatory to train somebody in some type of skilled labor. Right. And there's a reason why they took that shit out of high school. You look at the correlation of like,
and that's the thing, Ty. See, Ty, this is the things that you like overlook. Where it's like, okay, so you want people off welfare, so why the hell did you stop making it so that people can't get trades and get certified in high school?
So you can go to college.
My boy went to Mass Bomb, not too far from where I'm at now, and it used to be a good school. Now it's a shitty school. He came out and had his mechanic certification. They gave him internships high school year. He's still a mechanic now. They don't do that no more. So like, if you want people to get off welfare, like then that's why I said before, what's the alternative? If I walk out my door, what are my options? What do I have to do to make a living and to make money if there's no welfare? What are you guys providing for your people? Like, what are we learning in high school? We don't learn anything about financial literacy in high school. Our kids are fucking being taught to take a fucking test, and they regurgitate the facts out and then forget about the shit like we're teaching to a test. Like, how are we preparing our people to actually make a living for themselves, bro? Like, how? If you're gonna take away the safety net, then give me a better quality education. Give me a trade. Give me financial literacy. Teach me about the stock market. Teach me how to work the land. Like, what are you giving people, bro? Like, that's my question. What are you substituting for? You can't just take it out and say, all right, now fend for yourselves. How? What's the alternative? What would you offer? Also, if we're gonna talk about the next part of Candace's, we might want to just
no. I think this is we'll just talk about that some other time.
I know. Yeah, all right, so let's start it. Let's get to that Candace clip and then we'll finish it. This has been great though. I'm glad.
No. Let's finish this because the Candace showing to take too much time.
Okay. Then that's where I'm at. Like, I think welfare really did hurt us, bro. But I don't want to abolish it. And if it changes, you can't just take it away, bro. Like, there are certain aspects of socialism that are actually positive and beneficial to society. We've stigmatized The Republicans have done a great job of doing it. Well, actually, both parties. It shouldn't even be a partisan thing. Both parties have demonized the word socialism to the point where we don't even want universal health care. To the point we've rejected, what was Andrew Yang running on, like guaranteed, guaranteed payments every year for like stay-at-home moms, like things like that. Like stay-at-home moms would just get $1,000 just for staying at home. Like things like that, I think are beneficial. We don't have that, but I think that cash payments to stay-at-home parents would be beneficial because being at home is a full-time job. I would much rather a parent be home teaching my kids than at some fucking daycare learning and other people.
But would it increase taxes?
Their culture to them, huh?
Would it increase taxes?
I'll pay more taxes, but I've told you that before.
I don't want to pay more taxes. I feel like I pay a lot of taxes. I'm not trying to pay.
I know, bro, but where's it going to? It's not going to
a bunch of places I don't agree to.
Right.
I don't, if I could pay less and don't pay that shit, I would. I'm not going to agree to pay more. Fuck that.
Yeah, you know what's crazy though? Like, and that's the thing about government that I don't understand. We can determine how much we pay in taxes. Like, it's crazy to say that, like, just the idea that, like, we could say, like, hey, you know what? We don't want to pay this much in taxes. So, to offset my increase in taxes, corporations, this is the amount of profit you can make. I don't want to, like, I don't.
Billionaires pay for everything. This is where we're going with this, right?
No, it's not a big. No, billionaires don't exist without consumers.
So the billionaires should pay for all the things that we need.
So it's people. All I'm saying is I'm a fan of the consumer power. If the collective consumer say, if we come to an agreement about the value of something, we have more power. If people are together and saying, hey, this is the most that we're willing to pay for this. Cars. Hey, if you sell a brand new car, how much does it cost to manufacture? It costs you on average $5,000. You can make 250% profit up to that on your car. That's it. 250%.
But that's tough to do because you saw the whole UAW shit, the Detroit thing, where they was like, they fought for higher wages and they got higher wages, bigger bonuses, all this shit, and so that affects that stuff.
That's why I'm saying about cost. That's why I'm saying about the amount of profit a company can make. Because when you look at, like, when you think about your taxes going up, right? You think there's this, like, oh, well, if we get these services, there's somebody got to pay for it. A lot of the shit people got to pay for is labor. If the people who are working paying for their services, they don't need to be paid as much.
Like the cars less.
So let's say, like, if you look at it from a perspective of like economics, right? The billionaire, his biggest fucking expense was probably going to be labor, right? Those people that fucking work in labor, right? Their biggest expense is going to be their houses and all that shit, right? Mm-hmm. But these prices are going to be controlled by individual, like, industries. If we say, hey, in this industry, we not, like, y'all making too much profit. Your cap is this because we need to
cap on profits.
Cap on profits, like control capitalism.
So whatever happens to the money over that, it goes to pay for things, I guess.
That's everything else get paid for. So like these are the base, like.
But isn't it ever moving though? Because materials will cost more, right? Steel, uranium, all that shit to make. Like, it'll cost
who
more.
Who makes up the price of steel, Tyrese?
What do you mean? Like the people who buy steel? I mean, I'm sure there's a formula to it. You can't just say I want $1 billion for 1 ounce of steel. So.
I'm guessing it's the demand, right? If it's economics, we're talking about.
You're talking the price. So. From what I'm arguing is a collective agreed upon, and I'm not an economic person, right? Like, so I don't know economics. But if we say this is the max, right?
But my point is there could never be a max because if it costs $1,000 to get an ounce of steel out the ground, eventually it'll cost more because the people mining the steel will say, hey, we want more money. And
but why would people say they need more money? Because most of the time, people say they need more money to afford the expenses of living.
Okay, but that's relative depending on who you are. Like for the UAW people, the people that made the cars in Detroit, a lot of those people were making over $100,000 a year, but they were like, "This ain't enough. I want more." So do what? To consume shit. Yeah, to consume shit, but it's like, hey, I want you to pay me for the labor. You're paying them for the labor. I don't pay you to buy food. I pay you for the job that you do. You're making my car. I pay you for the car. I don't care if you want to go to the movies after the fucking shit. I don't care what you do after the show.
It's my theory. And my theory is that if we were to reduce the amount that people felt like they had to pay, so a lot of people like that same 120,000 that they were making, if fucking 20,000 of that was going to insurance, right? They don't feel like they making 120,000, right? Because they gotta pay for insurance. If another like fucking 10,000 of that was going to childcare, right? Because they needed somebody to watch their child. If we had childcare like system included into our controlled capitalistic environment, right? You wouldn't have to pay people as much because they're not trying to survive because the basic shit is taken care of. Like in other countries in Canada and shit like that, like you don't fucking account for like paying $100,000 for a surgery. You need a surgery, you just go get the fucking surgery.
No, you don't. You come to fucking America to get the surgery because people are dying there for simple shit. Their healthcare, people keep talking about Canada. Their healthcare system is terrible. Canadians come here to get shit done.
So can I just? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I want to interject.
I'm sorry. Canada was a bad reference.
No, it's all right. So I just want to interject something just to see, like, how do you reconcile this with the conversation that we're having? Because this is part of the stuff. Like, so Ty, I've showed you guys this before, so I'm gonna pull it up real fast so we could all see it, family. But here's something that I can't reconcile. Right? We're talking about welfare. We're talking about things like that. So if we know that things like this are true, can you guys see this screen?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is a conservative estimate. It says that super rich hold 32 trillion in offshore havens. 32 trillion in offshore accounts, right? This money is not in the economy. This money is not gaining. It might be gaining interest, but it's not floating in the economy. It's not circulating. It's not paying for services. It's not improving our infrastructure. It's not improving our roads. This money is just sitting in accounts that people are hoarding. People, so when we think about stuff like that, this is what I think about when you say you want to abolish welfare. Yeah, bro, but there's plenty of money to go around. The problem is the super wealthy are hiding it. They're just taking all this money and hoarding it, bro. There's so much money. Look, a conservative estimate, 32 trillion. You know how much money, bro? I can't even fathom that much money, bro. That's just literally an offshore account. This is from the super wealthy that you, for some reason, keep defending, and you be rocking out with them, bro. I don't know why.
The reason is because
his goal is to get there.
How about this? No, I'll never get there. I'm not. I don't have those fantasies. My point is, I'm not a fan of. Okay, so if you take that 32 trillion and put it in put it in economy and everybody's living it. My only point, my thing is, I don't think those people owe me anything. It would be a nice thing for them to do out the kindness of their heart, but to look at them and be like, man, how dare y'all not give us all y'all money, you scumbags. I think that's some bullshit.
I don't think that it's like. Yeah, I don't think so. I think that like, and that's something that's just we programmed to look at it that way. It's not a thing of like you don't owe me anything. You owe the system that allowed. Like you don't listen.
That money. How did
you can't amass that?
I don't listen. If I make $1 billion, I don't fucking care what like. I'm not gonna be like, hey, let me look out for society with my $1 billion. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna say, let me look out for my family. I'm not looking out for society with my.
And I'm
not doing that.
It's a new concept.
Whatever I want. I'm gonna buy.
You want to sit these accounts and just not help anything. You could cure cancer. You could get rid of poverty in certain countries. You could build a better public education system. You could.
I think people who would prefer life to be this way. All right, put it this way. You remember when the riots and all that were happening in Philly and people were going crazy and all that shit. Yeah. All the people are like, well, it ain't no big deal. Just call your insurance. Yeah, I bet your ass would say something different if your store got fucking raided. I bet you wouldn't say, oh well, fuck it. We were all talking this shit because we had nothing to lose in the situation, and I liken it to this because it's like if you had $1 million in an offshore account somewhere,
hold on. Before you even fucking make that argument, Tyrese, if you telling me, and this is the equivalent to some of the shit you about to say, because 30 trillion. I know you you a math dude, so you know, right? Like a million, like a billion is like a million billions, right? Like a million millions. A trillion is like billions of.
I'm not giving.
All right, so listen. If I was if I was to lose, like me personally, I'm a penny pinching motherfucker. If I lost $2 right today, I'm not gonna lose my shit. I'm not. I'm not gonna like flip a fucking table and like throw shit over. My house is not gonna come crumbling down, right? If I lost $500, right, I'd be pretty fucking upset. I'd be upset. I'd be like, oh shit, hey man, don't fucking ask me to go out. Don't ask me for shit for a little while. You know what I'm saying? I'd be upset. That is the equivalent. That is the equivalent to what they would lose to be able to fucking help the overall economy. And that's just, it's fucked up to think that like.
I disagree. If I lose $5, I'm upset. I don't like. That's why I don't gamble. That's why I don't gamble.
That's cool, bro.
But are you going like? Are you going? Is it going like make or break your day?
I'm be absolutely upset. It's going to destroy my day. Absolutely. Because in my head I'm like, damn.
It's pointless, bro. It's pointless. G.
I could have bought soup. I could have bought some fucking hot flaming Cheetos. No, man. No, I'm definitely upset. Now I got to take out another $5 to go buy because I lost the other $5. No, I'm not giving you shit. At all. I'm not giving you nothing. I'm not giving you nothing.
Buried, God, you know, let it be far in the future. When Ty gets buried, he's gonna say, "Bury me with all my fucking money."
No, I'm leaving it to my kids. But I'm not leaving it to society as a whole. Fuck that. I'm not doing that. So no, absolutely not. No. So I don't believe that anyone regardless of their income bracket owes me anything, and I don't live my life like that.
But you don't
owe too much money, bro. There's a certain point where
that's their business. That's their business. That's their business. But they don't owe you nothing. They don't owe you nothing.
It's not about owing. It's not about owing you, bro. It's about owing like the system. Like, all right, so listen. Okay. You just said you gonna leave your kids. You gonna leave your kids money, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You gonna leave your kids money. If as a billionaire, a millionaire, trillionaire, and this will come. This is almost like guaranteed to come.
I'm here with you. I'm with you.
There's going to come a time when a billionaire, trillionaire ancestor is getting eaten alive because the people have come together to destroy whatever you built because you never gave enough for us to survive. And it will happen, and it will continue to happen.
Get it for yourself. Don't ask me for it. Go.
I'm not asking.
Get it for yourself.
No, we're not. But they talk about pay your fair share. So if you like right now, you pay a certain percent of your income to taxes.
Right.
Completely fair, right? It's the government, right?
I don't think it's fair.
It's fair.
I think I pay too much money, but
you pay too much. But collectively, we all pay. Like if we all like certain tax bracket, right? Like if you're above like 60,000, some shit like that. Like in certain tax brackets, you gotta be like 59. Like certain tax brackets above that shit, right? We pay a certain amount of taxes. Billionaires don't.
They don't.
They game the system. If I figured out a way to game the system and I didn't have to pay taxes,
that's not a problem.
First of all,
you sound I don't okay with that.
It is what it. Like I'm.
Make you angry?
If I had enough money to get a lawyer to get around paying taxes, I fucking would.
But
I'm not gonna be like.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
A straight question: why are you more angry and passionate about bashing people who are on welfare or abolishing it, as opposed to these billionaires who don't pay taxes? Like, why are you like?
I mean, I don't think the two compares, but
people milking the welfare system, you're like so. I just don't understand. Like, why are you more passionate?
Well,
about
because one perpetuates the cycle.
Hiding trillions of dollars in escrows accounts.
What you about to say?
One perpetuates the cycle of victimhood. Being like, okay, yeah, let's just get welfare and live in 30 years in this welfare house.
It gaslights us, and the other gaslights everybody into thinking that this fucking system is fair and that it should be the way it is.
Nobody claims that it's fair. It's just they're saying, hey, who has ever said communism is fair? I mean, capitalism is fair. Nobody has ever said that. They're just like, yo, pick a better system, and everybody's like, including y'all two, like, well, there's this way of thinking of it if you philosophically think, but no one could ever point to a country that does it.
But this is not
like reasonably. No one ever does it.
Here is different though, bro. The capitalism that we practice here is a different type of capitalism.
Who does it better though? Like, why don't we all just live there and it'll be a utopian society?
Well, no, bro, because we're struggling right now. Like, it's extremely expensive to live in America.
But people are still trying to come here though. I mean, we got every kind of migrant in the fucking world coming here through the southern border. You got Chinese motherfuckers you thought they was Venezuelans. You rip their fucking mustaches off. You be like, oh shit, this dude ain't from Venezuela. He's from fucking China. Like,
that nigga's funny as shit.
They're all coming here in this horrible way. Like, no, we must be doing something right.
We gotta make final points. We gotta get into some final points.
I know. I gotta get. I'm about to get in trouble and shit.
Oh shit, my bad. All right, G, so like, what is your final thought? Like, just like
Final thoughts, right? So when it comes to the solution of capitalism, right? All right. So wait, let's go back to
No, it's not
point.
it's just welfare. It's welfare. It's not capitalism.
Welfare, right? Yeah, I had to go back to welfare. Should we abolish welfare? Or am I a fan of welfare? No, not at all. I don't think that welfare is the long-term solution. I don't think that we can abolish it though, because there are working class individuals who deserve the opportunity to survive in America. Like, it was just a statistic. You need to earn $96,000 to live in Philadelphia comfortably as a single person, right? Like, and then the average salary in Philadelphia is less than $50,000. So there's like this this math that's like, the math ain't math in terms of, well, how much do I need to pay people to survive, and then how much do I really pay them, right? And it's usually like those numbers don't meet up. So welfare is a needed system until we figure out how to give people skills that will allow for them to fill those gaps that taking away welfare would replace, right? So
but they do that though. Welfare does that. Welfare does welfare to work program, and people just choose not to do it. Welfare to work program is a thing. They go to the career link thing, and they go do stuff, and then people be like, they figure out ways to get out of it. So no, I listen. Unlike you, I don't believe that if you just, hey, everybody go to be plumbers or whatever, or be painters, everybody's going to be like, you know what, fuck welfare. I'm going to go be a painter. They ain't going to do that shit because they don't do it now.
No, because like there's
it's not the kind of jobs they want, huh? It's not, it's not welfare to doctor jobs, huh? It's like,
no. It's just that like they still got that. Bro. So there's a systematic thing to where, like, whenever we talk about this stuff, the root of it is the culture and how America is responsible for Black Americans, because all of our identity is tied to this country.
Right.
Like I would be Jamaican, I would be African, I would be something else. I'm American. So if I'm Black American, if I'm nigga American, if I'm a thug American, I'm American at its root. And America needs to take responsibility for how we conduct ourselves in America.
Okay, but America can't give you driving gumption. No, another person can't do that. I can't convince you to
stop saying that we
that's
don't.
True,
these
nigga.
motherfuckers don't have drive.
I literally just pointed out an actual example as to what you said wasn't true. I literally did it, and now you're talking about some philosophical shit.
It's not that he don't have drive. It's not that he don't drive. I'm like the reality of it is that, like, from a young age, he's been bombarded with images of success, of fucking rappers and dumb shit that he's aspiring to. So he got face tats and he rapping and he making songs, and he think this nigga really, like, he got belief in himself that he actually is going to make it out, because somewhere somebody fucking told him it's not cool to actually dream about having a job. And that's American. Because this nigga, he's still buying Jordans. This nigga's still ordering on Amazon. Like, those same people that's on welfare, they're feeding the fucking capitalistic entities of America. So it's a nigga in the projects right now. He got a Tesla. No, there's a responsibility that America has to its citizens, bro.
Okay, so at the end of the day, no matter what we do as a people, ultimately, it's kind of not really our fault. That's basically what I'm getting. It's kind of not really our fault.
You're not going to tell me that it's not influenced by, like, the support that you get from your country.
Then agree with me. It's say no. It's no matter what we do, no matter what decisions we make, if you do anything crazy, ultimately it's the system's fault. It's what you're saying to me, right? It's not our fault at all.
No, I'm saying that there's a dual responsibility. I'm saying it's our fault and it's America's fault.
So if I go outside and clunk somebody overhead with a shovel and kill them, and it wasn't really. It was kind of my fault, but it was kind of the system's fault too.
If you think it's fucking normal to go outside, I'm going to. If you as a 36-year-old male, I have to question to you that you thought that was normal.
Okay, so it's the system's fault. All right. What do you think, Joe?
All right,
it could be, or you could be crazy.
I get that from you. I definitely get that. It ain't really my fault. I shouldn't go to jail at all.
I think I've heavily enjoyed this back and forth with GLI, so I'm gonna leave that as my final thought. I do want to open it up to the community, y'all. It's been a great conversation. Thank you guys for engaging. Gee, it's always a pleasure to have you, bruh. Let's open it up to the community. What do you guys think about Candace Owens? Did you guys see the Breakfast Club interview? I'm gonna watch the whole thing now. Like real
It's
shit.
good.
Like,
It's good.
I didn't even know she was on it. So now I'm like, oh, I gotta watch this because, let's open up to the family. G, please, hopefully come back in the near future. We'd love to have you, brother. Let's see what the community says. Let's keep talking about these things. Everybody like, subscribe. No Picks Podcast. We on the move. We on the grind. We got brothers talking about serious issues here.
Yeah.
So with that
Smart
said,
people.